What's your specialty today?
How are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful looking group of people. So I know this menu better than you do, okay? I probably know it better than anybody in here. We're going to take care of the fire department.
Okay.
We're going to take care of the police department.
Okay, we have fact-checked his statement, and for the first time ever, Donald Trump was telling the truth. He does, in fact, know it better than anyone, including me. And I go to McDonald's probably more than I should from the point of view of my doctor, probably also my wife. In any event, Donald Trump is there. He's arrived in East Palestine, so don't worry. He brought pallets of water, Trump water. He brought Big Macs, or at least got them when he got there, and he distributed the water, which people really do need. They're worried about the state of the water, the state of the air, the state of the ground, and they don't necessarily trust these supposedly independent tests coming out of Norfolk Southern saying that everything's great, just go about your lives. In addition to that, he reassured the cashier at McDonald's that they were going to take care of the firefighters. I'm not sure if that was something that she was worrying about at that moment, but the camera was rolling, more importantly. And so they did do that. They bought Big Macs for the firefighters. So Donald Trump is terrible, generally, that's true. This was 100% for PR, let's be clear about that. But that said, is it still a good thing? People love to throw around the term outflanked or whatever, but at least in terms of PR, has he outflanked Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, Jessica Burbank? What do you think?
Okay, if I burned down somebody's house and the family was distraught and they're staying in a hotel and I brought them a Big Mac, would that change what I did? Because President Trump was responsible for a lot of these rail regulations being rescinded. They were going to make sure trains have better, tracks to run on or better brakes so that they can stop when they're going so fast. Anybody who's played with trains as a kid knows if they go super fast, they're going to fly off the track. So there was a regulatory measure to make sure that they had good brakes on them. But Trump's campaign took a bunch of money from the rail lobby, and then when he was in office, they decided, you know what, we're not going to regulate. We're not going to enforce this regulation. Yep. And then he shows up and he's like, here's some Trump branded water. I don't know if I think this is helpful.
Yeah, well, maybe not too helpful. I will say, if you were to burn down someone's house and then show up at their motel room with a Big Mac for them, that would not solve their problem, but it would be a pretty boss move. That'd be a power move right there. Insult to injury in the form of a Big Mac. But anyway, yes, look, this is not actually going to solve all of their problems. And obviously it's not gonna solve the rail related problems, to be clear. It's not really gonna fundamentally solve their problems that have just come about as a result of the disaster. But it looks good. It looks good, and I'm sure, look, if you're a conservative and you live in the area, or even if you don't, you're just conservative, you must love this. And I don't really even begrudge you that. I wish that you could acknowledge at the same time that this is 100% for PR. And I wish, as Jessica alluded to, and as we'll get into more, you acknowledge the issue of deregulation and all that. But stunts are a part of politics, and of Trump's stunts, this is better than some. This is better than him throwing paper towels at people who are still rebuilding from Hurricane Maria. It's better than serving those same Big Macs to athletes who are visiting at the White House. This is at least in the same neighborhood as helpful. And I'm curious going forward what's gonna happen, because he pledged to donate thousands of bottles of cleaning supplies and yet more water. Those are pledges though. He did bring some water, that is clear. He did do that. Is there going to be an ongoing thing, like a pledge once the cameras stop rolling? That's, I think, a little bit more up in the air. I also want to point out, there's been a lot of informal fact checking or whatever around the water, with people pointing out, with this sort of graphic, that Trump natural spring water actually was discontinued back in 2010. So is this water 13 years old? And I wouldn't put that past him, but that does not appear to actually be what's going on. He has his own branded water or whatever that he doesn't produce. They just put a label on it for his resorts and stuff. That looks like what they're actually passing out. So I'm gonna give him a pass on that. But really fast though, Jessica. So I think you rightly point out, he hasn't solved their problem, but was this the right move for him given the state of the Republican primary and all that? It certainly makes him look good in comparison to Ron DeSantis, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the rules of the game, as defined by strange political consultants in Washington, D.C., who do this for a living, it's a good political stunt, right? I love the idea that Donald Trump could have been like, you know what, we're trucking the water from 2010 out of that warehouse in Secaucus, New Jersey, and we're going to East Palestine, and we're doing it while Joe Biden is in Ukraine. And the narrative has been, why are we giving all of our money and resources to Ukraine? By the current rules of the game and the current narrative, it's a good political stunt. Also hilarious to tell McDonald's employees, you know the menu better than them.
Yeah. I don't think the menu's that long. I'm pretty sure they know all of it. If I had to guess, I would say they know all of the menu actually. But anyway, yeah, look, I long ago pledged many years ago, I made a solemn pledge to the audience that I would never ever be fair to Donald Trump. So don't worry, I'm gonna be insulting him soon. But I do have to acknowledge that some people at that McDonald's did seem excited to see him. I feel bad for them. I'm trying to reach those people, but they did seem to be excited. So maybe credit to him for that.